Well, the weather for the whole of the south of England will continue as it has for the next few weeks. It's going to be hot and moist, with temperatures rising steadily as time goes on. There's a chance of steamy moments as we move into the... sod it. We never wanted to do this. We never wanted to be weathermen and women making innuendos about hot atmospheres and drizzly countries. We didn't want to be child-friendly. We didn't want to bang on about being for over 18s only. We want to talk about our sexy adventures. We want to be lifestylers, leaping from bush to bush as we sail down the rivers of British sex clubs and mountains of crazy experiences. The cheeky purple mamba, the liquid silk pumped liberally into our hand, the rodeo classic brief harness complete with Tantus curve, the Enjoy Pure One stainless steel dildo, the hot octopus digit, the ever so short messages on Fab Swingers, the sexy friends on Twitter, and the mighty vanilla alternative. With my best girlie by my side, we'd swing, swing, swing.
Get in the gym or to your car. With our advice you could go far. We fuck things up and we make mistakes. And talk about our sexy dates. It's getting hard for this to rhyme. Just as well, cause it's bed hopping time.
Hello and welcome to the Bed Hoppers podcast. My name's Mr. H.
And I'm Mrs. H.
Thank you very much for joining us today. Today we have some very special guests, but before we introduce them, they are chomping at the bit to talk. How do we know them?
How do we know them?
Yeah, how do we know them?
Oh, okay. You mean how do we know them in person?
Yes.
Right. Well, we met them in Palm Springs.
How else would we know them?
I don't know.
In person? What sort of a question is that?
Virtually.
Virtually. So we met them where?
We met them in Palm Springs at PCAP.
That's right. So we got to know them over that period of time, and we're really pleased to say that they're going to come and visit us fairly soon, and they're coming to our event on the 24th of September.
And they are. And I think they're only coming because they think that we are literally all like Mr. Bean.
I heard that they're only coming because...
Of you?
No.
You and your massive wang.
No, it's not that. It's because they heard there was punch and pie.
I thought there was going to be punch and pie. Where's my fucking punch and pie?
I don't actually think I've ever had punch pie.
Really?
No. Are you talking like alcohol punch?
Yes.
Like the stuff you dip the little cups in and then you have sticky hands and cups.
Exactly that. You're
I don't
dwelling
think I want
too
it.
much on the pie. What I was going to say is that tickets are still available to this delightful
What,
event.
to see
So
these two?
You can see these two, yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
One of our star attractions, of course. But if you want to find out more about the tickets, then you only need to look at the show notes and there'll be a link that takes you straight there.
You have show notes?
I have show notes on
Cool.
every show
Excellent.
ever that I've ever done that you've never seen. But if you'd like to come along and have a fantastic time at the Boudoir on the 24th of September, jump on, come and join us. It'll be fantastic. We've already got a Discord chat running where we can all chat to each other, get to know each other before we turn up. Believe me, this chat is really hot. It's awesome.
Yeah, so there's lots of bums in it today.
Lots of bums in it.
And maybe some boobs.
Some buttocks
Buttocks.
and boobs. Anyway, we have with us today, without further ado, we have the, what are they?
I said the XXXFiles.
Oh yeah,
But they also said Triple X.
Triple X.
Yes.
So it's like a weird cross between the X-Files and Triple X, the film.
Correct.
With Vin Diesel.
But I was reading your writing from the side and it looked like XXXFlies.
Okay, that's just my handwriting. We're going to call them Mr. and Mrs. Nerd, I think
Yes.
is the way that we're going to identify each one of them. We'll let you figure out which one is which. Thank you for joining us, folks.
Hello!
Yeah!
That's my best Mr. Bean impression.
It's very good.
Yeah, thanks.
You're delving into Kermit the Frog a little bit, I reckon.
Yeah, oh, yeah. Well, it's well, Mr. Bean with Kermit. I think it's...
I want to know what
Situation.
Mrs. Nerd is knocking back there. She's got a drink on the go.
Oh, this is a mango mimosa.
Oh, wow. That
Yeah.
sounds awesome.
If you're playing Lifestyle Bingo, then we've ticked one of the first things is, what drink are you drinking today, folks? So,
No, I was just jealous because she had a drink and I didn't.
And I'm drinking an iced coffee that I forgot had rum in it.
How can you
So-
forget
It
it
does
has
not.
rum
It
in it?
after a pint of it, you do forget that. So this is one of our Flip You Off specials where we interview you folks for, I don't know, a number of questions until we run out of steam. And then we flip it round and you interview us. Now, I'm assuming you've got your questions set and you ready?
We're ready.
So ready.
Fantastic. As ready as you can be, right?
They look ready.
They
She's
look-
got mimosas and he's got apparently coffee that he forgot had rum in it. So
Okay.
it's all good.
Rum coffee.
So my first question for you, and this is possibly as serious as it gets, maybe, but how did you get into the lifestyle? Whose idea was it?
Ooh, that's a good question.
Juicy.
Thank you.
Did you think they wouldn't be good?
So I would say it was 50-50. When we first got together, Mrs. Nerd, that's you,
Me.
yeah, said that, scientifically, biologically, we're not meant to be with one person. And back then, my conservative self was like, I can't see you with someone else. I can't see you talking to someone else. So then she mentioned a movie and an actress that she was really into, Natalie Portman. And
She is great.
so she was like, I would totally do her, whatever. And then my mind started spinning. 6 years later, we're on a road trip and started talking about it. And
Oh, and then we listened to podcasts.
oh, well, yeah, we started listening to podcasts for sure. But Playboy Swing. But I guess why we started is the scientific part of it, and that we're not meant to be with one person sexually. I think there's a drive for especially men to be with multiple people. It's in our genes or whatever. And then based off her career of being an attorney, she can tell you that people cheat on each other a lot.
Everybody should be swingers, then we wouldn't have as many divorces.
Here you go.
Good answer. Mrs. H, your question.
Oh, my question. I
Yeah.
didn't know if Mrs. Nerd was going to give her perspective on things.
Well, she summed it up like in about
she
8.5
Yeah,
seconds
that's fair.
there.
That is absolutely fair. All right, well, time for a not serious question, because that's the only questions I'm capable of, apparently.
Excellent.
What was the last gift that you bought for each other?
Ooh.
What'd you buy me, babe?
I don't know.
Coffee 3
I
hours
got
ago?
you something from Amazon. I think it was a travel piece for our upcoming trip to the UK in 15 days.
Yeah. A trip for me, for us. I don't know. Probably.
You got me McDonald's this morning.
Shut up. I would say probably electric shaver, actually, is coming today. Yeah, I need to shave this beard off before we come visit you.
No, I like the beard.
Okay, I'll keep the beard.
Cool.
Keep the
That was a
beard.
great gift you bought him then. I like the
You
beard.
got like a charm, a little necklace thing.
Oh, yeah. That was good.
What is it called again?
It's a locket.
A locket. There you go. I got our locket.
Nice, thank you.
Or a Tantus curve.
Oh, yeah.
Wait, no.
It's not a Tantus curve. It's a hot octopus curve.
Oh, yeah, whatever.
Yes, we
Finger.
talked about that, didn't we, at some point, and said it was
On your
great.
podcast.
Yeah.
It is a great toy.
And then I went on their website and bought one.
Excellent.
Yay! It's
Yeah.
a great toy. Much enjoy it.
So, my question for you both. Do you believe in aliens?
Yes. Next.
Yes, of course. I think statistically it's impossible for there not to be. Just in our galaxy alone, it's thousands of light years to the outer rim. So, yeah, I think there is.
Cool. Mrs. H?
Yeah.
All right. Okay. I was expecting more. That's cool. I mean, if it was ghosts you were asking about, that's another ball game entirely, but fine. Right, my next question then. If you could invite 3 famous people to dinner with you, who would they be and why?
Oh, I know.
Shit.
There's no right
You're
or
the
wrong
fuck
answer.
out.
It's what you want.
If you could invite 3 people to dinner,
Uh-huh.
okay.
Did you say alive or dead?
They don't have to be alive. They can be alive or dead.
Oh, okay.
Freddie Mercury,
Okay.
Oh.
Natalie Portman, and Otis Redding.
What?
Wow. So
That's
quite
so
a
pie.
musical dinner party then. but
Yeah.
With some potential for swinging if Natalie Portman's
I
anything to go
imagine
by.
Freddie's and Otis are going to serenade while you and Natalie get it on.
Yeah.
That's right.
Fair enough.
Is that
Yeah.
why?
Oh,
No, they're just all really cool.
Okay.
that's a good question.
What about you,
I
Mr.
think
Nerd?
for me, it would be Henry Cavill, because I think he's like my nerd god. Jim Morrison, because he's like my psychedelic god in music. And I'm going to say, I guess I need to pick a girl too. And this is going to be an old sausage show, isn't it?
No, it's up to you.
All right.
It's your dinner party.
I'm going to say Isaac.
Isaac
Yeah.
Newton.
Ooh, that's a good
Okay.
I have questions. Can all 6 of them be around the table?
Yeah.
Why
Well,
not?
we're a couple, so
Ooh.
Yeah, I want to see how Isaac Newton's going to hit it off with Natalie Portman for one. It's like,
Yeah, me too.
It's going to be like science, bitch.
and whether Henry Cavill will like Freddie Mercury, and the whole thing is just like great.
I'm going to go in with a slightly easier one.
It wasn't difficult.
No, this is slightly easier.
Okay.
What is your favourite sandwich?
Oh, that's a hard one.
I know this one too. Well, I like turkey and jelly and cream cheese grilled.
What's jelly?
The cream cheese grilled or the sandwich?
The whole sandwich.
What's the jelly?
Like cranberry sauce.
Oh,
Like
right.
like
Cranberry
jam.
sauce.
Jam.
Ah, okay.
My favorite sandwich is probably like a 20-something-year-old and my age between. Oh, we're talking about food here. Okay. I'm peanut butter and jelly. Yeah, I like PB and J.
Deers or the
No, not the deer, babe. They don't know the deer. They know the deer, but listeners don't know the deer.
there are deer and they're named peanut butter and jelly.
So yeah, peanut butter and jelly, but I will add
Grilled or not
potato chips on there, like Ruffles, crunched
In the sandwich or around the sandwich?
in the sandwich. Yeah,
Oh,
I don't
it's a
know. Is
bold
that?
choice.
Do you guys do that over there?
It's yeah, that's been known to put crisps into a sandwich.
Yeah. Now, the real question is
Yeah.
crunchy peanut butter or creamy?
creamy, duh.
Crunchy.
I don't think I've ever had a peanut butter jelly sandwich.
I think
Right?
you have.
When? Oh, names, dates, times, places.
I'll tell you later. You've
I
definitely had
haven't
one.
had one. You don't? No, I haven't. For one, I don't like peanut butter.
That's why you
I'm
didn't
gonna
like.
make you one in 15 days.
Okay, cool.
She said she doesn't like peanut butter.
Well, I genuinely don't unless it's on like
What
Saturday.
about almond butter?
Do I like almond butter?
That's gross.
I know that she likes nut butter.
That's different. Don't bring it back to your sausage fest again.
That's the second sex joke.
Oh my god.
We're doing well.
You
Mrs.
met
H, quick,
Mr. H,
question.
right?
Throw a question
Oh,
in.
for
Quick,
goodness sake.
save this.
All right, I'm going to park this sandwich idea until
All right.
later. Right, so what is your favourite body part on each other?
Ooh, I really like his balls.
His balls? You went straight
What?
with
I
that.
do. And also your face and mouth and all of that.
Close second to my balls, apparently. Yeah.
And your hairiness.
Oh my gosh. So you're gonna go with balls, huh? Yeah. So
I
probably,
can't believe you went straight
probably gonna
there.
have to show those at some point. Yeah.
In 15 days, 5 hours, 29 minutes, and 7 seconds.
So I would say for me, for Mrs. Nerd, it's her ass, but her smile for sure is the first thing come eye. Yeah.
Very smiley.
Very smiley.
That's very nice. That was very nice. I love how quickly Mrs. Nerd went to balls, though. It wasn't even a
I know,
beat.
right?
And people won't believe me because they'll say, no, you edited this. But this is displayed 100% in real time. That answer.
It's right in
Time
there,
it,
his
folks.
balls.
It's like 0.6 seconds. And she was...
I could tell you that after they meet her, or if they know her, then they know. Yeah, it's pretty.
All right. How did you meet?
Were his balls
Oh, gosh.
involved from the word go?
Did you know? Do you know the answer to this question already, and that's why you asked it?
I think you told us. I have a sneaking suspicion. But I may have consumed alcohol since that point.
Do I tell them the karaoke part first?
Yes.
Okay.
The
Well,
clean part.
yeah. So her law partner at the time invited me to go out karaokeing with them, and which is something we used to do as high schoolers and beyond or whatever. And so get there,
And you're a really good singer.
well, it's debatable.
We can chime in. Oh, no, he is. It took us a while.
Mrs. Nerd was there, and with her husband.
Oh,
At
you're
the
going
time.
to tell that part?
Yeah, we're going to
Okay.
tell that part. And anywho, yeah, she sees me get up there to sing a song called The Fireman, which I sang in Palm Springs or whatever. And she's like, no way, this guy's going to sing this song good or whatever. Because the singer's from where she's from.
There
and-
could only be one George
yeah. And so I guess I knocked it out of the park, whatever, because she immediately gets up and leaves her husband's side and comes and sits next to me. And immediately demands that I sing every John Denver and Otis Redding song in the book. And I was just like, get away from me. So I didn't sing any of the songs that she requested, but about a month or two later, the same law partner asked if I would help them move their offices. And being the pack mule that I am, I happily obliged. And I think her friend was trying to hook us up the whole time because they had it, Mrs. Nerd had issues in her marriage and she knew that. And so they pushed us together and started hanging out. And then it was just a thing until she invited me to go see Your Highness. And I thought, no fucking way is this person gonna see. Can I say the F word? I can say the F word.
You can
right?
totally fucking say the F word.
So, in the middle of this movie, I'm sitting here watching Mrs. Nerd cry laughing at this thing, like almost like a hyena. And I knew then that we would be together.
The fucking babe.
The fucking yeah. and the dick necklace. Yeah, you were laughing at that when it was flopping around and shit. So yeah, that's how we met.
Fantastic. Great film as well.
I love that film. We can have a fucking long feast.
It is a good film.
When you're here in 15 days and however many hours. Yeah. We're going to have a lot of weird food at this rate. We're going to have some like strange sandwiches and the fucking feast.
Yes.
And a cream tea because you're coming to Britain.
With chips.
Crisps. Dick necklaces.
What are they called?
Crisps.
In the UK?
Crisps.
Yeah. Which is way harder to say.
Mrs. H, your question.
Okay. If you could go back and give your 18-year-old self one piece of advice, what would it be?
Oh, lose it.
Lose what?
Lose what?
Lose it? What is it? I mean, you did, right? Like,
not at 18.
Okay.
Let's see.
I think you mean
maybe do all the things.
Yeah.
Life is too short to be waiting for the right moment for whatever.
It's like that T-shirt I got at Goodwill or whatever. It was a skeleton sitting on a bench, and it was a woman that's waiting on the right man.
Oh, no. Yeah.
Wow.
What about you?
What would I tell my 18-year-old self? I would say probably don't leave my hometown immediately. I tried that and failed horribly. I followed my girlfriend to school, to university, and didn't focus on school at all. So I would say I would do not that. I had a pretty wild teenage life and 20s. So probably focus a little bit more on getting education and getting smart.
I love how one of your answers is just fuck everything, pretty much, and the other one is maybe not fuck so much. And it's like between the two, there is a balance.
Get in the Goldilocks zone for fucking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's funny.
So what I want to know is what turns you on and what turns you off.
That's juicy.
I guess it just depends. Like, I think
again, or
I think it's situational. I think if I already know the person or we've already met, then intelligence, humor, like sense of humor, intelligence, that's what gets me. But if I don't know them yet, then I do have a type. I do like short hair, like Mrs. H has, tattoos, like Mrs. H has, like piercings. Everything that you've ever said, Mr. H, about your ideal woman, probably from what's that new cyberpunk video game? Like that's where they came from, probably.
Yeah. Short, skinny. Yeah.
I like grungy. I do like petite, but what about you? Just balls?
Me? I like a good beard, number one. Number two, I like somebody to be really smart. So if you can, make me laugh or be witty or like make a pun,
Yes, wittiness and puns
Panty
for
droppers.
sure. Yeah. I feel like if you can make me laugh, then that's the easiest way to get me like into you. If that's your goal, right? Like, but otherwise, just funny. Yeah, just be funny and smart.
Mm-hmm.
But what turns you off?
Dick pics.
Oh,
Lots of dick
good
pics.
one.
And you
Hmm.
know, it's funny after listening to your guys' podcast and hearing Mrs. H say that she doesn't like fanny pics. I'm starting to not like fanny pics either.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Wait,
I
are you
didn't mean
talking
to
about
gaslight
butts
you
or
with
no?
fanny
No,
pics.
I'm talking about the English fanny.
Okay.
Yeah. So I love an ass pic for sure, but as your profile picture, it's a little off-putting. It's
I
like
really get turned off when somebody's a hypocrite
hypocrite.
or they're really closed-minded.
Double standard. Being ghosted is never fun.
That is never fun. So between you then, what you're really looking for is someone whose profile says that they hate spread-eagled fanny pictures, yet their profile is a picture of a spread-eagled fanny, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Just balls.
That would be the ultimate turn off.
Who's also smoking.
Very, very meta.
Yeah. Yeah.
Worst profile ever. I just went on the internet immediately to register my disgust.
I think also being asked if we enjoy breeding, like, that's so weird.
Yeah. But hopefully we'll
I would rather
get
just
to an
say,
age at some point where people will stop asking.
do you want to breed?
It's
don't
always
think
such an interesting question, isn't it? It's like,
It is.
Yeah.
like, what about my profile has led you to ask this?
Yeah.
My wild
Like
child
question
barrenness.
1, how many kids do you have? It's like, you assumed we have kids?
Yeah. It's like, oh, your profile doesn't say where you're from. Where are you from? Oh, we're from Denver. Where about you from? It's the first line in our profile.
Yeah. That's funny.
Oh, shit.
It's
Yeah.
it is an interesting world out there. Mrs. H, I'm sure you've got a question.
I've got
to get
one
us
more
on track.
question.
One more question.
Because
Okay.
we have one each.
All
yeah.
right.
Right, my last question then. Who would play the role of you in the movie of your life?
Claire Danes.
Claire Danes.
Oh.
Okay.
Not Natalie
Is that
Portman.
like your old
Well,
doppelganger
yeah,
from high school?
Yeah, like in college and beyond, everybody used to tell me I looked like her.
There you go. Who's tall, slightly overweight, and hairy?
Henry Cavill.
Yes. Yes, I'll take Henry Cavill as a method actor.
Also known for his excellent balls. So
Oh, what about Adrian Paul?
No.
That's a very specific Highlander thing.
Yeah, I guess
Oh, Zach Brown Band.
fuck you. God damn.
I'm
No,
assuming
the story behind that, I don't even think you know who Zach Brown is. It's this horrible country music. Well, I use that lightly. It's not country music. But that's what it's labeled as. And he wears this like beanie over his head, and all you see is his eyes and beard. So during the winter, that's what I wear because I have a beard. People are like, "Oh man, you're Zach Brown Band," and I'm always like, "The entire fucking band? Like, I'm not just him." All right, but yeah, no, I would say maybe like Mark Ruffalo.
Oh, that's a nice choice. I like Mark
Yeah.
Ruffalo.
That guy that plays Deadpool.
No, gosh. I'm so glad that you think highly of me.
Well, you're funny.
hang on. I reckon
Ryan
there's.
Reynolds?
Yes.
Ryan Reynolds.
I reckon what Mrs. Nerd is doing here is that she is assuming that she is playing herself in this film and that she will get to fuck all of these people that she's mentioning.
Excellent.
Like Adrian Paul.
The Highlander?
The Highlander.
Oh my god.
I've got one more question that I want to ask before we get flipped off, and I guess it is us that is being flipped off in this instance. So what I'd like to know is, how would you describe your play style?
Yeah, that's always a good question because I'm not sure.
We get asked that a lot actually, and we never know what to say because we don't go in with expectations, or we don't go in with like, let's do X, Y, Z or whatever. We're more go with the flow type couple. I enjoy watching. I'm not like you, Mr. H. I actually do enjoy watching Mrs. Nerd have fun. Sometimes it's because I'm not in the right mindset yet, or I'm overheated, or I've had too much to drink. But watching her have fun always seems to get me to where I want to go. Mrs. Nerd is 5.
Yes.
And I would say it's like boundaries. Like,
Yeah,
it's
more boundaries.
more boundaries.
It's just about boundaries rather than rules, I think.
Well, rules,
Generally
that's
around
always
the
a
same
must,
room.
is like protection and play style. Is that answering your question at all?
It does. I think it's really interesting because people often have a different perception of what playstyle means, and sometimes it's about what are the rules that you apply, and like you've sort of talked about, and sometimes it's about the way in which you enter this. What are you looking for, I suppose, to a certain extent. But I think you've covered that quite admirably. So I feel sated now.
You're never sated.
Excellent.
Ever. There's
I'm
always
really
a bigger
just looking for
transformer.
friends
Just
I
friends
can be open with.
that you can have sexy
like,
times with.
wouldn't that be amazing? You explained it perfectly early on. You're looking for this like euphoric atmosphere that you're trying to create amongst like your lifestyle friends, and I think that's the goal. Like, fuck it and leave it. It's not our play style. It's not how we are as people. Although on vacations we tend to get that way.
I think on
But not UK
vacations, though,
vacations.
But
you
not-
have
well-
different rules, don't you, sometimes? Or you flex your rules quite a lot in
Yeah,
holiday scenarios
think
because all your rules are kind of like temporarily set aside because you're in a very different environment.
If
with
I'd
each
have
other.
known that, I'd have had a very different holiday.
Oh, really?
All my rules are set aside. Woohoo!
Well, you know what I mean? You kind of have like you flex things slightly,
Yeah.
don't you? Because you're in just a very different environment.
I think you have the euphoria of going on holiday
Yeah.
and the exciting sort of being away from your normal environment.
A bit of
which is-
bravado as well because
and probably quite a lot of alcohol if we're involved. And
yeah,
you're sort of
sun, flirting,
and plus
that kind of thing.
you may only see these people for the period that you're
Yeah.
on holiday for, so you condense everything. So I'm with you on the fact that sometimes you sort of change your approach a little bit, or you condense it. Maybe it's sort of very, very condensed. So it's not that you just rock up and fuck. It's just that you get to know them very quickly, then you have sex with them, and then you have to leave your holiday.
I
And
would
that's
say
just-
you still don't get to know people.
Yeah, just at a much quicker rate.
Yeah.
Which is interesting because
Fucking.
The fucking
but how you take that atmosphere and that confidence and that thing away from the holiday experience to when you go to clubs or whatever.
Right. And
back
for
home.
a new couple or new people in the lifestyle, I imagine that could get hard to navigate. And that, like, well, last time we were on vacation, or last week we were on vacation, these rules or boundaries applied, and now we're back home, and I'm still wanting to be in that. Yeah, it could get weird to navigate. It was for us at first too, because our first PCAP, it kind of got a little loose, like making out with like person after person after person after person, and I was just like, I'm not ready for this.
I can only watch so much.
And, yeah, it was a little too much, but we were able to tackle that real time. It wasn't something that we had to wait until after the event to handle as a couple. We actually handled it within the hour, and we went on to Colette's and got overwhelmed there in a different way. So, that's about it.
Fantastic, thank you. Well, now we're going to hand the reins over to you folks, so you can chuck some questions our way.
140 questions.
Yeah, we'll do our best
Yes,
to answer them.
Not quite that many.
We have 27.
We have a lot of questions. We don't have to answer. We don't have to ask all of them.
No, you really
So
don't.
a lot of them can be really quick.
Do you want to start or me?
How about you start?
No, you start. Oh, okay. So, do you have vanilla friends?
Do we have vanilla friends? Yeah, we do.
Yes.
We do.
Absolutely.
I think it's been interesting because the lifestyle friends have become much more interesting, and because you share such deep connections with them, even if you're just having bigger expanded conversations, then hanging around with them certainly I've found to tend to find them more fun.
Yeah, I'd agree. I mean, also some of our closest lifestyle friends are actually some of my best vanilla friends, if that makes sense, because I expand those relationships into vanilla settings very easily. So we can be both. But we do absolutely have vanilla friends outside of our hobby.
Yeah, we were at a birthday party with friends a couple of weeks ago,
Yeah.
and we survived. I may have only tried to convert 1 or 2 people, which was
Goodness sake.
fine. but-
Although I will say that when we spend time exclusively with people that are not open to hearing about our experiences, let's say, because you have to respect people's boundaries and not overshare. It very quickly becomes a kind of, oh my goodness, I want to go home and talk about stuff again.
yeah, I think we got
I
quite
miss
used to talking
it.
about sex and adventures and fuck ups and all that sort of stuff.
I
so-
think I just look forward to those open conversations, and
Yeah.
it's really difficult to kind of close that down a little bit sometimes. But absolutely, we have vanilla lives, maybe outside of this.
probably.
Yeah.
That's funny. So this is for both of you. Would you rather give up Pokemon, Transformers, and toys, or the lifestyle?
You monster!
I mean, I'd have
I
to
don't
give
even
up.
know you anymore.
I'd give up the toys for the
What?
lifestyle, for the sexy
Lies.
time.
Oh shit!
Absolute lies.
No, it's just true. I would
you
do.
couldn't give Transformers up. I've known you for 22 years and you've never given them up.
No, because it hasn't come down to
He's giving you an old item now. What are you
Yeah,
gonna do?
exactly. Well, he's not given
Yeah.
me the ultimatum.
he is.
But in a theoretical world, I'd rather the friends that we've accumulated. Because, for example, if I were to not give up Transformers and I were to keep hold of all of my glorious robots and cartoons and whatever, that would mean that we could no longer interact with you wonderful people, and that would break my heart. So therefore, the Transformers would go.
See, I love how Mrs. H is looking at you right now because she's like, I can't give up Pokemon. I'm level 42, motherfucker. You can't.
I've got them tattooed on my fucking arm now. I can't give
I've got
that up.
Transformers on my arm. What more do you want? God.
Pretty figures.
Fine. Well, obviously, I'll have to be as Jedi as him in my response now. Yes, I'll give them up. I had to, but I won't like it.
He didn't say you have to like it.
Oh,
Mrs. H goes around hate fucking everybody because there's no Pokemon
I know.
anymore.
I have to give up Pokemon for this.
Yeah, be good, asshole.
I'd give
I'll
up
never get
Transformers,
that
though.
rare
Done.
Charizard.
No more Transformers. Cool. Done. Sorted. Okay.
And
yes.
just like that, we were able to make you give up toys.
Yes, maybe.
What you got, babe?
My turn?
Mm.
Okay, this is a good one. How much did you have to pay Ewan McGregor to do the podcast?
What? Oh, the opening. Yes. Welcome to our podcast.
If they find us, they'll crush us, grind us into tiny pieces, and blast us into oblivion.
Hey, that just cost us $3,000.
They have shield generators.
Stop spending money we don't have.
Well, hello there. No, that knockoff Ewan McGregor as Obi-Wan Kenobi was me.
Is it like Obi-Wan in my pocket? When you get the little like audio book that you opened up and they do like all your favourite quotes.
All I can think of is
Mr.
Alanis
T in my
Morissette
pocket.
singing like, I've got Obi-Wan in my pocket. And the other one's
Yeah, I've got a Princess Bride one. Then you open the little thing. Yeah.
Cathedral. You've made one of life's classic blunders.
Can we get an Obi-Wan in my pocket?
I think that means something quite different.
Do you think so?
Yeah.
Do you think Ewan McGregor would endorse it?
I'm sure he would. I'm sure he'd love to rock out.
Oh, yeah, he would.
Yeah, he'd be fine with that. He didn't make your table, though, and I'll be sure to tell him.
Oh, yeah, that's true. Yeah, he's not coming to dinner with you, is he? He's being
Oh,
replaced
yeah.
by Freddie Mercury and Otis
Well,
Redding.
I mean, there was too many good ones. I would say he might be number 4.
Oh, okay. That's
I'll
fair.
invite him to mine. Screw you. It's fine. He's mine now. Do you think he'll sue us for this?
No,
Good. Brilliant. Do you reckon he listens to it?
no.
Oh, dream smasher.
You don't even listen to it.
No, I know.
So, paint the picture here. It's WrestleMania 2022. It's Chunder Pak versus Chunder Muff. Who takes the belt?
Wait, was the first one Chunder cock. Is that a new term
Chunder-
you've made up? Or I didn't quite
Wait,
hear the
isn't
first
that what
one.
you called the 100th episode? Chundercock?
Oh, the 100th episode. Oh my God.
Yes, Chundercock versus Chundermuff. Who wins?
I think
Oh, yeah.
the thing is that Chundermuff is like everlasting. It doesn't ever go away.
It's the gift that keeps on
It's
giving, really.
like a weight that permanently sits on my shoulders. What was that ridiculous horror film where the woman is like
Shutter.
Shutter. I'm going to spoil it now for anyone that hasn't seen it. But it transpires that this ghost has been sitting on this guy's shoulders the whole time. That is Chundermuff to me, permanently around my neck. What's been?
It's your pallbearer.
It is. It is my pallbearer. It was interesting because
Chundercock versus Chundermuff.
When we did our last couple of events, people who were there on Chundermuff night came along to them.
Yes.
Lovely friends of ours. But we hadn't seen them for a little while. And I think a lot of people got some great joy in talking to Mrs. H and I about it and hearing part of it live, but also adding to the story about how, particularly this lady was very, very happy about how drunk I was, for she had fallen the event before and been quite drunk. So
You were pretty hammered.
it was a special moment. I don't think I've equaled that amount of drunk since.
No, I don't think you have either.
No, I've
in your
tried.
entire life.
I've reached
Or
some,
high.
it is a
Early
very
on.
Or
high bar.
extremely low. I don't know.
Yeah. And then we had reverse Chundermuff where someone ran out of the hot tub.
That sounds really gross.
Oh, yeah.
Is this like suck farts?
No, we're not going back to suck farts ever again.
Suck
We're
chunder.
banning you from
Wait,
suck fart
Have
conversation.
I just turned a new phrase?
No,
Suck chunder.
no. But yeah, so I think Chundermuff kind of tops all in terms of stories. There is some weird logo I designed in the back of my Mac somewhere that was going to be a T-shirt, and I just didn't think any fucker would buy it. So
is it going to be some rip-off of like Sword of Omens, like Chunder?
It may have been a slight play on the Thundercats logo.
Skanko.
So it felt a bit like I might get sued for that one. So
Yeah, you might.
Yeah.
Whereas Chunder
Good call.
cock, or whatever you want to call
Well, it's
it,
parody, right?
was
You're fine.
was quite delightful. I thought it wasn't like a huge like exorcism kind of style of chundering. It was just a little bit, and then I was quite amorous. I tried. At least all my affections were on you.
Yes, this is true.
And then the bathroom. So
Oh.
So I'll ask this one. I feel like everybody who tells their story has been high school sweethearts. What is your thought on the correlation of that with the lifestyle?
So it's everyone that's met in school and is now exploring their own kind of thing.
Mhm.
Exactly.
It's
Or
re-
first partner type deal.
Yeah. I think we can safely say that we are not each other's first partner.
no,
And actually, I don't think we know that many people that were their first.
we know some.
Some.
We
It must
certainly
be
know
a
some.
religious thing here in the States.
Maybe it is. I mean, there's a few, and I guess there is that. They get to. But I think there's an age thing and there's a trust thing. Like when is your relationship ready for it? If it's ever going to be ready for it. So you get to a point where you're kind of like, is this all that relationship is going to be? And some people are happy with that, and some people want to expand it, and they kind of get to that trifecta of, they implicitly trust each other because they've got some mileage on it. They kind of know that they're not going to run off with with somebody else because they've got that trust built in. They're comfortable with each other. And it's kind of like, well, we've kind of done everything together. What else is there to do? And when that all sort of meets, then I find people tend to be like, oh, that thing you're doing in the lifestyle, that looks a bit interesting.
So it's not a familiarity breeds contempt kind of scenario for you where you kind of think, well, if we don't do something, we're just going to split up.
I think there is that does come into it. That does come into some of the thoughts and moments, but I wouldn't say that's it.
No.
Certainly not with most of the people that we've met, because if you're going to be successful in it, then you're not fixing something that's broken, you're enhancing something that's good.
I think there's also an element of people reaching a point in life where they become sort of empty nesters, and that kind of, wow, we got no kids in the house anymore, so what do we do now with all this newfound freedom when we're still young enough to kind of go have sex? So let's explore. let's rekindle all our sex life now we've got no kids around.
Yeah, that's true. But I also think that it's really interesting, actually, because there is a sort of groundswell of younger swingers, but I guess they don't really see themselves as that or identify as that. So they kind of just see this as being normal.
Yeah, no, and I've said this before. I think, especially when I was sort of much, much younger, I didn't really define any of my, and I guess it could be deemed as promiscuous behaviour now, but at the time I was just enjoying myself. I don't think I put a label on that and went, oh, maybe I'm a swinger. No, I just think I liked having sex with different people and lots of them. And that was kind of that.
I think lots is the understatement of the day.
Okay, maybe.
I'm not sure if that answers it or not, but hopefully that's enough waffling that will see us through.
Yeah. I mean, over here, it seems like every other person we meet are high school sweethearts or they've only been with one person. Now, I'm not saying every person, but a lot of the times that's like their story.
Oh, wow.
So I wonder, like I said before, if it's like a religious thing or what it might be here.
It could well be. It could be the level of drinking culture that we have over here. and you know,
I heard today it's 18 over there. Is that right?
It's 18 or 16 if you're in a restaurant with your parents or whatever. Yeah. So, and I think it's like 12 if you're in a restaurant in France or something. I'm sure someone will correct me on that.
But 18 is generally,
is the sort of drinking age. But most people, or a lot of people, tend to drink a little bit earlier than that. Naughty people that they are, and I imagine that has a huge impact on that sort of remaining with one person kind of stuff.
I would say so. I would say alcohol is probably your Venn diagram of correlations there, because it seems to be involved in a lot of things.
Well then, all right. When it's sexy times, are you guys lights on, off, or do you like to have a little like a theme going?
I'll defer to you, dear, on this one.
Mr. H loves a fucking gadget. I would say that. And he, I would say Mr. H is absolutely invested in enjoying his environment, whether that be having sound, having nice lights, he just likes to surround himself with things, I think, that like set a scene for him in some way. Very short answer is it doesn't really matter if lights are on and off. We can still have fun. It's all good. But you do like to go in and kind of have something on a TV in the background. You like Alexa
like
to
TV
have
in the background always.
Yeah, he really does.
I like background noise. I don't like
Game of Thrones going on or Star Wars porn.
Honestly, it can be anything.
So Star Wars porn is always welcome. I mean, Playboy Swing we've chucked on in the background a number of times. I mean, even just regular movies, if it's just us two, just because I like the lack of silence.
Genuinely, we've had Forensic Files on in the background. Like, literally.
Like an unsolved mystery is going on.
Yeah.
Unsolved mysteries, 100%.
All that. Now, for him, for some reason, that seems to really sort of, I don't know, it doesn't make him in a sexy mood particularly. It just, I think, gives him that background level of noise to kind of just feel really comfortable. I can't do that because I end up listening to what's going on the TV. And I have to absolutely curate what I'm watching or listening to, because otherwise I'll get invested in the film and not concentrate on what's happening. And I kind of need it to be more matched to my mood than you.
Yeah, I think you quite like a sort of very dimly lit room. And
I don't like some fucking ring light in the background, no.
No, but bright rooms are one of your natural enemies. You're constantly...
Yeah, I like an ambient light, but I don't require candles and, you know.
Going back to the gadget thing, so our bedroom lights are sort of controlled by Hue or Alexa or whatever it is, so I can change the colours, I can dim them or whatever. And that's always quite nice. But
I like that.
Yeah, that's always quite fun. And the front room does that as well, or the living room, whichever you want to call it. But beyond that, I kind of, I'm not too fussed about lights on or lights off. I like
some light.
Some light.
Like a bit of light.
I think you
I
tend
like to see you.
You like to be able to see me, but I don't think you like me to be able to see you. I think that's the level of light that you like.
No, I don't mind you seeing me.
That was like a Bob's Burger Tina moment there.
It's not like we're playing Murder in the Dark.
No, it's not. But I think that you tend to be more worried about how you look.
Oh yeah, totally.
So therefore, if it's a bit darker, you're generally a little happier. Whereas I don't. Yeah, I like to be able to see all the stuff.
All the stuff.
All the stuff.
Yeah, that's true.
All the things.
All of the things.
Yeah, I would say that.
What's on your bucket list?
Oh. So I think when we first sort of started down this route, I was quite excited by the prospect of having lots of things that we could explore and experience first together. It seemed quite an exciting way of sort of navigating our way through things. I'm actually not so fussed now about that. I'm not very prescriptive anymore. I just like having experiences that I come away from feeling happy and that I've had a great time. Now and then we experience something which you could go, oh, that's a first, or we've experienced something together that, you know, we might have decided a while ago would appear on a list. But I don't think I have a list anymore that's I have to tick off.
I'd say you have some things that you want to tick off.
Do I?
Yeah, again, so I think the lady pile
I know
you want.
what you mean.
So
maybe the lady pile.
You enjoyed
Oh, a girl
DP.
pile?
You want to do that. She wants a girl pile. She
Yeah.
wants DP again. I think you quite like the single
Not
guy.
with the girl pile.
No, but you like the single guy thing, so I think you wanted to try that a bit more.
Okay, maybe I do have a list.
You've not done fuck all to organise it, but that's another matter.
Because you don't want one. So I'm not going to spend my time investing in something that is ultimately not going to make you happy.
No, I know, but you. It's fine. We'll cover that later. But I think that's the stuff that you definitely are interested in, that you're interested in exploring more. The lady pile, I think, is a big one that's on your list.
It's a big lady pile.
Yeah, exactly. So
the bucket list doesn't necessarily have to be something that you cross off. It's something you keep on going back
something
to.
you like
yeah,
maybe.
do later.
and I think
There you go.
there is that practice makes perfect, right? So if you've tried something and it's been
Right.
fun, then I'm sure if you try it again a couple more times, it'll get better potentially.
Yeah.
With each thing. For me, I kind of like I'm still sort of hunting the group sort of dynamic stuff, but with friends. I think that means that I really enjoy that dynamic, but it's not often you get to do that, because assembling 2 people is fucking difficult. Assembling 6, 8, 10 people is impossible nearly sometimes. We managed to do that for New Year's Eve, and that was really fun. So I love that everyone's okay with each other, everyone's fine with each other dynamic, where everyone knows what their particular rules are, and then you can all relax and just have a nice time.
So is that what you like then? A big nice pile of people
it's not what I inherently like about everything, but that's one of the things that I'd like to do again, because I've enjoyed that. So there's that. Oh, I really want to play with a guy. I'm just joking.
Your fucking emails just blew up.
I know you're just jesting.
Bradford is hot on your toe. Literally.
So yeah, I think that's kind of the main thing. We did explore a little bit of a sort of separate room play that was interesting, but I think it's got to be the right space. But it's not fuck it list necessarily. It's stuff that I'm kind of getting my head around more than anything else on that.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think that's kind of where I'm at a bit. Is that fair?
Yeah.
I love the way you were like, I don't have a fuck it list. Oh yeah, I do want to do them things. I'd love to do them.
Maybe a little list then.
Well, now that you mention it,
Yeah.
Well, we have to know what we're trying to curate in the UK.
we're not going to try to curate anything.
We got to get you over here first.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're going to get there. Let's see. What have been your most recent FOMOs?
FOMOs, you're a king of FOMO, aren't you?
Yeah, I don't.
Like, for example, Naughty was recent. Was that something you were wanting to go
Did
to?
not have any fear of missing out of that, especially having read and heard how that shit pile went. So I think what I miss is when people that I know are getting together, and we're not able to do that. And there's a number of trips happening over the next few months that we just can't do. And I think some of that's money, some of that's time, some of that's time off work. And there is a reality to it that you just can't
do
everything.
Yeah.
And I kind of, I'd love to be able to do that. I'd love to be able to do like the Hedo thing with casual. I think that would be a great trip, and do some other bits and bobs. But the other thing is that I'm also sort of in this biding my time moment where I don't know what's going on next year, and I want to be able to be best placed to do the things that mean the most to me. But no one's really announced very much about next year yet, so I find myself going, I don't want to book anything in yet, and it makes me feel a bit of an asshole because it's not that I'm necessarily waiting for a better offer, but I'm waiting for what works best for us and what.
Well, we're limited with what we can throw at a problem, so we just need to make sure that we do as much as we can with the time that we've got. And it's just you just need to make an informed choice with all the stuff, don't you? So
yeah, and I think it's so interesting about the FOMO because it could just be just a couple catching up with another couple that we know, and like you guys have caught up with friends of ours, and we're like, oh, I wish we were there. That would be lovely to be assholes, love them to death, but assholes. And you
Jane and Angie, fuckers.
Yeah, exactly. And sometimes, it's far easier for you to see them than it is for us to, and we recognise that. And I'm sure you'll feel a lot of that when you come over here and you meet some of the wonderful people that are coming to the event and stuff. And when you go back home, you're like, oh, they're seeing them. Asshats. I hate them so much. They're dead to me. Actually, I love them, but it's fine. And you do feel that, and you can't help but feel that. It's more just enviousness of a situation. Like, I wish we could be there. And
we do a lot. I mean, we get to do a lot of things.
Oh,
We're really lucky.
We are incredibly fortunate, and and I know through even things through having this event, I know there are people that have been to our previous events that are literally gutted they cannot make it because they just can't make the timing work. They can't get out of weddings and events and all this sort of other stuff that gets in the way, like life. And I totally understand. I totally sympathise. Fortunately, because we're organising this one, we get to pick the date and go along to it. So we managed to get past that.
I think FOMO is quite a major thing anyway for a lot of people in the lifestyle, because it stands to reason that the more you start enjoying all the things that you do, the more you want to do them.
Yeah.
And there's always someone somewhere that's having a better time than you just because of circumstances and, stars aligning, and they just don't work for you at that time.
And sometimes FOMO can be really fleeting. I know we've been out having a marvellous time with people, like in a lifestyle situation, and someone's dropped us a message going, hey, look what we're doing. And I'm like, oh, man, that looks amazing. Wish I was there. And then I'm like,
but wait
look
a minute,
around, you fucking idiot. You're in the best possible thing. But it's just
want your cake and eat it.
Yeah, of course you do. Of course I do. And that's the reality of it.
Yeah.
But I think it just shows that you just care about people and care about their company and you value their time. And if the worst thing that happens is that you've got a fear of missing out of that time or that experience that they're having, then it just shows that you give a shit about them at the end of the day.
Definitely.
It's interesting. I have like zero FOMO when it comes to like vanilla shit. Like Mrs. Nerd will be like, these people want to do something. You want to go? I'm like, hell no. I'd go. I'm staying right here. But if it's a lifestyle thing, I'm the one bugging her about it all the time. I'm like, let's go,
And there's Zoom as well.
What about it?
Well, if you miss somebody, you can always get on Zoom.
Oh, yeah. Sure.
And you're right. There are ways to sort of ease that FOMO. And I think part of this whole thing is that you maintain the relationships. You can't always maintain them as much as you'd like, but you can reduce that FOMO and reduce it slipping into real sort of envy and jealousy and stuff by having those connections and keeping those up. I think that helps quite a lot. Certainly does me.
Yeah, I would agree.
Another question?
How do you like to be kissed?
Frequently.
Oh, there's a follow-up question to that.
Okay. I want to get drinks.
I just thought of a follow-up question.
Okay. Do you want to chuck the one in, or do you want us to answer first?
Answer first.
Answer first. Okay.
You answer first, then.
I think the best way to describe it, I like quite a lot of passion in a kiss. I like it to feel like someone's really trying to ignite things within me. I think I don't like teeth scraping because we've all experienced a little bit of that. I enjoy a bit of tongue. I'm quite happy with that. But I like that moment when sort of passion takes over and the world sort of disappears because you're just enjoying that kiss. But it's very hard to describe what that kiss is. I could probably do it.
You could probably
But it won't look great.
show and tell.
Yeah, show and tell. But there is something I think I could live almost without the lifestyle stuff if I could still kiss people, because I think that means so much to me. And when you find a connection and people that kiss in your style, not to say that people are bad kisses, but if they don't kiss in the way that you like, then it feels like a bad kiss. Do you see what I mean?
There's bad kisses.
Well, I think I'd like to just think that actually they're just not your style. I mean, there are certain things that are awful, like the teeth scraping, and that's probably someone that's sitting in the bad kisser thing. But I think some people just don't kiss in a way that ignites the flame. But I also like, actually, I'm very keen, and I've said this many times, is that I like people who make the first move, who kiss me. Because it feels often as a man, he says, "Whoa, how upset am I being a middle-aged white man and all these things thrust upon me?" But often I find that I have to initiate that kiss, and it can leave you feeling like, well, do people really want to kiss you? Obviously, when they're kissing you back, you get the sense that they are, presumably, but sometimes it's nice for people to kiss you.
Yeah, I would agree. It's really nice to be approached and asked if someone can kiss you. Yeah, that's really sexy. I mean, I'm lucky enough to share kisses with men and women.
You are.
I get the best of all of it.
Mm-hmm.
And I would say that obviously the two things are very different. And I love kissing women. Like, I really, really, really love kissing women. That being said, there's I really enjoy kissing someone with a beard, because I love the feel of, I don't know, I just like a beard on a man.
Mm-hmm.
It's I find it much more sexy than a sort of stubbly, close-shaven kiss sometimes. Okay. Yeah, so, but again, I think I'm with you, and the kissing front it's I like a nice slow kiss that has some meaning behind it, rather than this is just me trying to get to the next stage. And I've had to have sex, I think, with you at one point without kissing or something, and it just really upset me. I'd almost rather not have sex if I can't kiss.
Yeah.
It's a really hollow experience for me. So I'm always quite baffled when people say we don't kiss, or it's like, oh, how do you have sex then? Like, it's a really strange concept to me, but each to his own.
Or people that don't kiss with tongues, like that'll be on their profile. I've seen that. I've never experienced
really?
it, but I'm like, yeah, okay. It'll be like kissing your aunt goodbye, isn't it?
Oh,
yeah.
Yeah. But I find an intimate experience without a kiss is really not easy for me. I think the kiss is important.
There you go.
What was the follow-up
Write that
to
down.
that?
See, now I don't want to ask my follow-up.
What's your follow-up?
Why?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so I'll ask it. So there's 15 days, 4 hours, 39 minutes, and 54 seconds till we get there. How much longer till we're all making out?
Well, so two things, right? So I know that your countdown timer is for when you leave, not for when you get here.
Yeah, that's true.
So there's probably another 8 hours for you to get here, and then we've got to get you. Well, I'll be getting you here, and then I won't be flying. I'll be just picking you up from the airport, and then Mrs. H will not be home for a few hours, it seems.
Boo.
So,
no.
I mean, we could all make out to
don't you all
kill
be kissing
time
without
until
me.
she gets here. And,
No.
Yeah, it's fine.
There would be absolute murder if that happens. I will drive you back to the airport myself and get you back on a plane if you all start doing stuff without me. Yes.
So 16 days, 2 hours.
Something like that.
We can work out the math.
I think we've got time for one more question if you want to fire another one our
You
way.
go.
One more question. Okay.
Make it a good one.
No
All
pressure.
Right. Well, what did you notice first about us?
Oh, that's a nice question.
Good question. So the very first time we met you, we'd come off the back of almost 24 hours traveling.
Yeah.
And we'd just got into our hotel at PCAP, had the world's quickest shower, I think is best described, and we were trying to stay up because we were 7-8 hours.
I don't know what time it was.
Different time zones. So it was actually like
stupid.
4 a.m. or something like that for us. And we rock up to a villa with you folks and a bunch of other people, including Kate. And I think to say that we were overwhelmed by the experience was a bit of an understatement. But once we settled in, because it was like walking in and everyone was stood in a circle, and I was like, "What the fuck is going on here? This is a really strange place."
Kate had us in a prayer meeting.
Oh, I think that was Nikki.
No, it was Kate for sure.
There was a lot of very rapid introductions.
There was,
yeah, a lot to take in.
And some of the folks there may not have been as straight laced as they may have been the next morning. So it was this interesting little chat. But I really loved. So firstly, I'll sort of explain. So firstly, running into Mrs. Nerd and her endless enthusiasm, which was apparent even at that point, was just a delight. I don't think I've ever seen anyone jump up and down clapping their hands so many times in 2 minutes, which was lovely, and I adored that. And then I think Mr. Nerd, you and I shared an interesting conversation about video games.
I heard that. It's great.
And I think some of your opinions met very well with my own and validated what we were saying, for which I was eternally grateful. So that was my first impressions, and I thought you two were a delight. Is that nice?
We've taken all the good stuff now.
Okay.
Well, I've got some stuff as well.
Oh, then go for it.
So now it's 16 hours, 16 days, 1 hour.
For me, I think the first thing I noticed about Mrs. Nerd was her smile. It just lit up the room. And
because she had a torch in her mouth.
Absolutely. And because Mr. Nerd was standing behind her with a torch. No, it was absolutely your smile. It lit up the room for me, and I felt so welcomed and happy to meet you, because you just seemed genuinely happy to see us. Like, this is really lovely. She's so happy. He's right. Your enthusiasm is quite infectious. It's really, really
One
lovely.
assumes it's the only part, though, just to put that up there.
What, that's infectious? I'm confused now. So there was that. And like, from Mr. Nerd, now I don't know if I'm wrong about this, but Mr. Nerd strikes me as a little bit shy, a little bit introvert, but at the same time kind of exuding this nerdy confidence, which really appealed to me. But I felt that there was like so much of him hidden from everyone. And I was just so keen to kind of like dig that up and find out the real you inside. It was just really lovely to see you so sort of reserved, but so chill. It's like, is he awake? Yeah, I think so. Cool.
On at least one of the occasions we met, and I'm not sure he was awake.
But yeah, so he's like so chill about everything, but at the same time I got this sense that he's really quite nervous, and I kind of had this overwhelming desire to chill you out even more and kind of be like, hey, we're not scary, like, come get to know us. And it was really sweet to see you like open up a little bit and reveal bits of your personality, and I found that really appealing. And the sense of humor, like, absolutely ticks all my boxes.
Aww.
Because
You are funny.
I do love a bit of banter and wit and humor, and it always appeals to me on so many levels. So, and the pair of you just felt like people I'd love to know more. You know, just hang around with. And
Well, just as well, because we hung around with them for ages.
Genuinely look forward to seeing you again the next day when I got up. I was
We're
like,
the
oh,
reason
cool.
for your bad review.
But no, I look forward to like, and when you were like, oh, should we go to dinner that night? I was like, cool, yeah, I really want to do that. I looked forward to seeing you again. So that told me that I think we'd found our nerds. Mr. and Mrs.
Excellent.
Oh.
Yay.
Mm.
I love it.
So I think we can start to round this up on this delightfully emotive note. So I want to say a huge thank you to you both for your questions. They've been absolutely delightful, and for answering our daft questions. I'm glad we now know which sandwiches to purchase before you arrive. Where can people find you in the world if they want to?
We're on most lifestyle sites. Cassidy, SLS, stuff like that. Just the XXXFiles usually. We're on Twitter, XXXFiles R&R, because apparently that's a porn.
Yeah, it was already taken. I had to think of something else.
So,
And by triple X, you mean it is literally
just not anywhere.
just XXX files, right?
And of course, in your Discord chat.
Oh, yeah.
Of course.
Yeah.
At the event. So people will be able to meet them if you so choose, and we'd highly recommend it. If you want to come along to our event, they'll be there, which will be fantastic. And what we'll do is we'll put some links to some of your stuff in our show notes. What we need to do next, I think, is probably set you up on Fab Swingers because you're coming to the UK.
Oh, God.
And you can
Why would you do
experience
that to
the
them?
joys
But we don't
of...
like dick pics.
So we
You can
do
suffer
have
them. Yeah,
Fab Swingers set up, but we're not verified yet or paid or something.
We gotta have the newspaper, the UK paper.
Yeah.
If it means one less dick pic for us, I'm happy for you guys to take the hit, to be fair. So,
What
again,
about balls?
what about balls? Yeah, just balls. Just balls everywhere. Just balls everywhere.
Slap them on the counter.
To put them next to a
Whatever.
can of Coke, take a picture of them for size reference, and
Funny.
shove that shit up there. That's fine. You know, if you want to be arty, you can black and white it. You know, you can colour pop it if you really have to.
Oh,
I
colour pop
never
the Coke
advise
bit,
colour
yeah.
pop. It's the
Like a
worst of all
nice
filters.
sepia.
Exactly. Yeah, nice sepia. That'll do it. And maybe just colour the edges a little bit if you want to. Yeah, make it look like someone's creeping around, peeping at you. Don't do this, folks. Don't do this at all. So, thank you very much, Mr. and Mrs. Nerd, for joining us. It's been absolutely our pleasure to have you on. Mrs. H, do you want to do your thing?
I do. Well, thank you for hopping into our bed.
Yeah, we are.
Oh, good. That bodes well. So you know what to do with this then. You can lead this. Right.
Hey?
Hello.
Hello.
Hello. Yeah, podcast voice adopting silence for the talent, please. Recording. Cool. Okay, so 5. Oh, this is cool. I like this. Well, I'm going to talk anyway. It doesn't really matter. Fuck them and they're recording. I'm recording in 2 places.
Hey,
Right.
what now? Why was there a countdown? What's
Because
that mean?
it's recording on Riverside and it's recording here. They got it straight away.
Did they see the countdown too?
Yes.
Oh, cool.
Oh,
Right.
grief. All right.
Yeah, I started to lift off.
There's another countdown going as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the timer.
Oh.
Oh,
Oh
yeah,
my
that
God,
one.
it's not long. Oh my
It really isn't.
God.
It's
15 days.
There
Are
we
you
go.
excited?
Yes.
A little nervous,
Why?
anxious.
I'm
I hate
nervous.
flying.
I'm nervous.
me too.
Yeah.
Just get wasted. That's how I deal with it all the time.
You
In fact,
don't have to
I hate
fly.
driving, so I'll just get wasted when
The
I come to
pilot
pick you
will
up.
fly. You'll be fine.
Fair enough.
Unless something goes wrong, then in which case, yeah, we won't see you in 15 days, I guess.
Everything's fine. Everything's good here. Nothing's burned.
That's
at
why
all.
they're like flying metal death sausages. So.
Okay. All right. You ready?
I'm
Ready.
always ready.